Welcome back. As the 17th Africa Energy Forum gets underway in Dubai, conversations will be on how to address the power generation challenges in Africa. Well, here in Nigeria, this has also been a huge source of concern. And one of the sessions at the forum will focus on how President Buhari's government is expected to shape Nigeria's power sector over the coming years. Well, to talk more on this, I'm being joined via Skype by Alaba Owoyemi. He's the General Manager at Greco Nigeria. He's also a delegate at the ongoing Africa Energy Forum in Dubai. A very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining me on the program. Now let's talk about, let's get your thoughts. What do you think have been the successes and challenges of Nigeria's power sector in the last 12 months?
Yeah, I think in Nigeria there are a lot of problems that we are facing at the moment in Nigeria concerning our power. It's a very big, very complex problem. We have shortage of gas. We have age power stations. The regulations are not yet up to the world standard. But I believe we are coming there now. We are moving forward, and I hope the new government will really, based on what they have been telling us, I believe they are going to move faster and to move with all this obtainable in other countries or part of Africa and the rest of the world.
Well, you mentioned the challenges of gas. Now, this is one conversation I know that has dominated a lot of forums in the last couple of months, and we know that the issues are something that will just not go away. So looking at it now from a private sector investors angle now, what practical ways do you think that this challenge of getting gas to power the plants will be addressed?
Yeah, it's not going to be something we can achieve overnight. If you look at the gas line across the nation, these are lines that have been existing for over 2 decades, and there's a limitation to what you can put through. But I still believe there's some other way we can immediately solve our problem. Increasing the infrastructure, improving the infrastructure is one, but there's some quick win that we can embark on to solve these immediate needs to relieve Nigerians of this power problem. One of the ways is to look at how we can put up what we call cottage power, which is like embedded power. That can be achieved not necessarily through power. We have other means. We have liquid fuel, we have HFO, we have diesel, and we have what we call the bottled gas, which is CNG. We can look at that for now to improve the installed capacity while the government and the stakeholders plan on how to improve the gas infrastructure.
Are you looking at, because you see the federal government actually has plans to boost Nigeria's current generating capacity. That's what we have today is about 3,368.44 megawatts to about 12,000. So it looks like, yes, it can be achieved.
Well, it can be achieved, but it's not going to be something we can achieve overnight.
When you say overnight, what duration, what time frame are you looking at?
If you look at the geographical location of Nigeria, right, where we have this gas available, they are in Niger Delta, right? If you look at that, we have most of this in abundance offshores and the Niger Delta of the part of the country. But if you look at it, looking at it as a layman, not a professional now, how long will it take to move gas? Let's look at it from Warri or from Port Harcourt to Kaduna or to Kano or to Lagos or to Ibadan. A lot of things need to be done. You need to do your assessment. You need to do your environmental impact assessment. A lot of things. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. So we are looking at minimum. We are talking about minimum of 3 years if you really want to move forward to improve the gas infrastructure. However, are Nigeria going to be waiting for the next 3 years for them to get power No. So that's why I'm looking at, I said, there are some short-time solution for now that we can quickly embark on while we plan our medium and long-term solution.
So looking at that short-term solutions, now we know that finance is very heavily involved, but do you think there's been enough progress with regards refinancing the power sector, especially looking at those short-term solutions that you've just talked about?
You know, for the last 3 days, we've been here, all over the Africa, brainstorming on how to improve power in the continent. To me, I don't believe the investment is the problem or financing is the problem. In Nigeria, I believe if the policy and regulations are okay, I believe people are ready to invest.
So do you think there's going to be an influx of private sector investors like your company now into the sector?
Of course, looking at what we do at Greco, we remain as number one temporary power provider in the world. And we've had a very long history in Nigeria. And for the last 2 years, we have positioned ourselves in Nigeria on how we can bridge this power for the country. At the moment, we have over 40 megawatt worth of power in the country within 2 years. And we are ready to deploy over 300, right? In Nigeria, we understand the business. We've invested so much in the last 2 years in our business in Nigeria. We have a global and local capability to solve this problem. So what I'm saying in essence is like, if the regulation and the policy, if they're favorably, I believe a lot of investors are ready to move in which Agricole is one of the investors. If you've ever been to our facility in the last 2 years, you will imagine the kind of investment we have put in the country in terms of people, in terms of the capacity, megawatts, in terms of the knowledge transfer, just in the last 2 years.
But then you see, so that's just for one company. We're talking about just one company now, and there's so much opportunities in this very critical sector. You mentioned the policies, you mentioned the regulatory framework, and you mentioned an enabling environment. Do you think now that with the new administration of President Muhammadu Buhari that this will be achieved? Do you expect a continuity of policies and regulations with regards to this sector?
Taking them by their word during the campaign, I think the government then, during their campaign, assured Nigerians that if they can be voted for, they are going to solve the long issue we have been facing in power. So taking them by their word, I think the government today, I think the government should be less than 2 weeks. So I believe that they should be able to do something about this. And as I said, doing something about it is to look at the reform very well and find a way on how to resolve some ambiguities, some things that are not clear. There are some things that they need to do quickly, and there are some things that they need to plan to do. So I said, long time, they should be looking at a way on how to resolve, to improve the gas infrastructure. For short time, there's a need to improve the policy and the regulation and the environment.
And so in the short term, they should also be looking at encouraging private investors like yourself to look at probably setting up some of those cottage power industries that you were talking about.
Yes, as I said, for the last 2 months, for the last 2 years, we've already positioned ourselves. We are ready. As soon as the environment is favorable, we can swing to action.
So let me just quickly get your thoughts on what you're expecting. This morning or later on in the day, there's a session that's supposed to actually focus on how President Buhari's government is expected to shape Nigeria's power sector over the coming years. I know you've already mentioned it, but let's talk a little more about it. Do you think that going by what you've already said with regards to what they said in their manifesto and expectations in the next couple of years, let's say in the medium to long term, do you think that there's a possibility that this perennial power challenge that Nigeria has been facing will be solved?
From my experience, these are not rocket science, right? In other countries of the world, other parts of the world, it works, right? To install a power plant is not something that we cannot achieve. if if the environment and all the other prerequisites are there, right, to install I mean, when I'm talking about power plant, I'm talking about the heavy duties. It takes about minimum of 4 to 7 years, right, to do that. But it's not something that we are looking for now. It's not something that is going to solve Nigeria problem right now. But what I'm talking now is we are looking at cottage power and looking at agricultural solutions. Agricultural solution is plug and play, right? It's something that we can deploy in less than 4 months, right? And if the government make the environment conducive and make all the policies conducive, I believe in the next 6 months, Nigerians will start to enjoy uninterrupted power supply.
Mr. Alaba Oyemi, thank you so much for joining me on the program and sharing your thoughts with us. Do enjoy, of course, the deliberations at the rest of the sessions today.
Thank you very much.
Alaba Oyemi is the General Manager, Agreco Nigeria, joined me via Skype from Dubai, where the 17th Africa Energy Forum is ongoing. Business Morning continues after this break. Don't forget to be part of our social media community on Twitter and join ongoing conversations, or send an email to businessmorning@channelstv.com. We'll be right back.